All right, everybody, I'm Robert Ottinger, but please, all my friends call me Otto, so I would love it if you called me Otto. Let's be friends. And today I'm going to tell you about how we're going to do drone detection and how drones have changed the entire face of warfare and security as we know it here in the United States. So let's dive into it, why we make drone detection system, how we're different, and what our solution is. Everything we know about warfare has completely changed. Everything about security has completely changed. Small drones, as we've seen in Ukraine and Russia, everything has changed on the shape of warfare about it, how they implement their solutions, how they implement their logistics, and the vulnerabilities that are caused by these drones are just tremendous. Is this a little bit echoey?
That is, it's okay.
All right, but what we offer quantum sensing to be able to identify, track, and defeat these drones eventually. The eventual defeat of it. All right, so what is quantum sensing? What it does is it detects changes in the Earth's magnetic field, and we're able to find these drones and locate them to about a 12-inch radius on how it is operating in the geomagnetic space. So every single drone with each engine disrupts the magnetic field of the Earth's environment, and we're able to take that information that we get from our quantum sensors and locate it to a 1-foot radius spot and track it and identify it and add it to a library. So this is really important for several different reasons, and what we offer is completely unique in how we do it. No one's been able to find a way to use the magnetic fields and work with that. And how we're able to cut through a lot of the noise is by using a constant machine learning calibration to filter out all the different environmental magnetic factors. We have patented pending technology, and our plan for bringing it to market is pretty unparalleled. We'll show you guys that a little bit later too. So as I've kind of touched on, we use machine learning to do the constant calibration within the Earth's magnetic field. And the big difference that this offers for some of the systems that are out there is it's not susceptible to any environmental factors that a lot of cameras are that are being used in the same space. It's not susceptible to jamming like we're seeing with a lot of these RF, with these traditional radar types. And a lot of these passive radars are not able to detect these drones because these drones are also being led by fiber optic wires. So they're completely passive and it's not working. But the biggest offer that we have, and the coolest thing about it, instead of being a giant 500-pound system with a gigantic power draw, our system, if you pull out our phone, it is the size of your lens on your camera. So we're able to do that with the same power that you would have from a laser pointer battery. And here's how we're going to get to our actual market, what we're looking at. So we're going to spend the first year developing our prototypes. We're going to seek an IOC contract with the Army, and then eventually move that on to a full-scale production contract. And in the future, what this means is that we're going to be finishing our prototypes in the next year. We're going to be covering all of our essential operations as far as just building up a production plant and scaling up an entire production facility. And we're going to make sure everything's right there for the U.S. government to reach in, grab it, take it, and run with it. Because our mission is making sure everything gets done quickly and that we're able to protect all these vulnerable infrastructure areas. So if there's any questions at this time, I'd be happy to answer them. But other than that, thank you guys very much.
Okay. You still need contact information on the last slide.
That is correct.
How many drones do you think you're going to be able to deal with at any one given moment? If they send 6 or 8 or 10, is it going to overwhelm your system?
No. we're focusing everything right now towards a swarm of drones. And if anyone wants to know what that means, if you look at these drone shows where they have tens of thousands of drones doing these different things, that's what we're eventually aiming for. And the way that we get there is by making sure that at least a dozen of them can be done incremental testing and then scale it up with each testing phase. All right. If there's no other questions, I'll pass it over to Pat.
Okay.
I didn't know
Wow, that was,
Thank you guys
that
very
was,
much again.
that was quick. Thanks.